Hi there and welcome to Community Matters. I'm your host, Shannon Ferguson. Now, Canada has recently updated its food guide for the first time in years, and Jessica McLeod is here to tell me more about it. Thanks so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Now, there's been a lot of marketing and there's been a lot of things going on about this food guide. So tell me what these changes are.
So yeah, this is the 8th revision of Canada's food guide, and it's been 12 years since it's been revised, so we were due for an upgrade. Canada's new food guide now is a plate. So you'll see that the plate is now divided into 3 sections. So half the plate is our vegetables and fruit, a quarter of your plate is our protein foods, and the other quarter is whole grains. So there's a shift away from the 4 food groups and the specific serving sizes, with now a focus on food groupings and more of a quality approach to nutrition.
And people will notice like the plate with the real food, the pictures of it. Because I remember growing up, it was almost like a cartoon that you would see. So how is it showing people in real life what it looks like? How is that thought to impact what the difference will make?
Oh, I think, being that it is a plate, and actually this is sort of what we would use anyway as dietitians, I think it just provides more of a snapshot of what's actually in front of you at the dinner table, rather than these, like you said, cartoon images of so many servings to have in a day. So it makes it a little more practical what to actually include on your plate. As well, the food guide does come with recommendations around cooking more at home, eating out less often, eating less processed foods, and making water your main beverage of choice. So a lot more focus on quality and practical tools now.
And why was it important for this change to happen?
So as I said, it's been 12 years since the last revision, and so we were certainly due for an update. So basically this guide just reflects the most current research on healthy eating, and it reflects a wider range of the diets that Canadians consume.
So there's been some pushback, let's say, about the elimination of dairy and meat. So why don't you talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, so I've definitely heard that come up a lot. People are worried that they have to become vegetarian, which isn't the case. But there is certainly a push towards more plant-based protein. And that's largely due to the research around their protective effect against cardiovascular disease and other chronic illnesses. And that's because you are replacing saturated fats in the diet with unsaturated, as well as increasing your fiber intake. So we know the benefits around that. But it's not to say that dairy and meat are completely off the plate. They now fall under the protein section of the plate, so that 1/4. So it just gives people more options of how to meet their protein needs throughout the day. Because certainly dairy and meat still do provide good nutrients, right? Meat is still protein, iron, B12, calcium, and vitamin D come from dairy. So it is just a guide. So I think we want to emphasize that. And as dietitians, we're there to help people make small changes towards this more balanced diet. We don't expect people to go from, chicken fingers to tofu salad overnight. It's small changes.
And with these changes comes maybe some people are nervous about an increase of cost, or how much healthy food really does cost in comparison to processed food. So why don't you talk about how people can make it feasible?
Right. So I do think that it will be a little bit more challenging for some people to, afford to make the changes compared to others. So certainly fresh vegetables and fruit are expensive, and they are more susceptible to price increases. So we saw that this year with lettuce, right? After the E. coli outbreak, it shot up in price. And of course, like you said, staple foods like our processed pastas, like white bread, white pasta and stuff, that is a staple in a lot of people's homes. And so it will be a challenge, but I certainly believe that healthy eating is possible on a budget. It just requires some extra planning. So as an example, that means checking your flyers for the sales, of course, building your meals off of that, taking advantage of apps and websites and things like that for price matching, buying produce fresh when it's in season, otherwise relying on the frozen produce, which is actually just as healthy as the fresh. So the tips are there, but of course, if people are going out and buying these whole food ingredients, you have to know how to cook them when you bring them home.
And that's something great. You guys actually offer some cooking classes and some cooking tips, which is amazing. It's right here in the community. People can go see you guys. So why don't you tell us how people can get more information?
Yeah, so at the Seaway Valley Community Health Center, we do offer different cooking programs that give people the basic knowledge and skills to plan and prepare healthy meals on a budget. So whether you're cooking for one or supporting a family, we do offer those programs, and they're free, available to anyone in the community. So to learn more about those, you can visit our website or call our programs line as well. And also, so there's us in the community, there are other resources, but even just starting with talking to friends and family members and learning, how to cook from them, that's also a good place to start. So, but I think in general, we need to work on our cooking skills if we're going to be able to eat this kind of balanced plate.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being here and explaining this guide in a little bit more detail, and hopefully some people show up for cooking classes.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks so much.